is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Whiskey and We, episode 20. Here we are, keep it moving. Hope everyone had a good weekend, as it was the last weekend for Halloween, and as I am recording on this Halloween night. So my turn up was this past weekend, and man, did I turn the fuck up. I mean, I stepped out as Pennywise from It. So I didn't plan on going out. I was feeling kind of just tired and felt like I needed to rest it. But then, you know, with a little influence and a little whiskey, I was like, nah, fuck it. I was like, let me just get out, have a good time. We got a few parties to go to, even though I only went to one. But yeah, pulled together a last minute costume, went around and didn't know what I was going to be. At first, I thought of being Milli Vanilli, but I couldn't find all the pieces in time. So me and my other half decided to be clowns, and it worked out well. So yeah, I had a good time. The rum punch hit me, and I was living my best life. But I hope everybody had a good weekend, and by the time this episode airs, it'll be after Halloween. So I hope everyone have a good weekend. I mean, a good night tonight. And like I said last time, keep it safe and keep it cute. But yeah, here we are at another episode. Before I jump into some topics, I wanted to just mention something briefly, very important, on the voting that's coming up. So, be sure to vote. And if you do live in the New York State, we have election day that is November 6th on a Tuesday. So New York does offer absentee ballots by mail to voters who will be unable to vote in person, but all other voters are expected to vote in person. So we have, like I said, election day is November 6th. The deadline to register online is Friday, October 12th, which is already passed. The deadline for registering to vote by mail is Friday, October 12th as well. So I hope that you all that are listening are registered, and I hope you understand how serious it is that we get out and we vote and we place our opinion and our voice on what we feel that matters based off of this administration that we've been living under for the past few years. So yeah, I just definitely wanted to touch base on that and make sure we all do what we're supposed to do and stand our ground. So with no other explanation, I guess we could jump into what's the whiskey friend. So what's the whiskey friend? Man, what we got going on this week? It's been kind of a slow week, but I guess for starters, what I'm drinking tonight, I'm not really down on the whiskey, especially after this weekend. So I'm keeping it light. I'm drinking plum wine, which is one of my favorite Japanese wines. If you guys haven't had plum wine and you like a sweet wine, shit, I would definitely check plum wine out. It's really good, and it can sneak up on you nonetheless. So that's what I'm sipping on tonight while I record this episode. But first things first, in whiskey news, Fox just announced a full cast for the upcoming live show of Rent. So it is said that we have Kiersey Clemens as Joanne Jefferson, Brandon Victor Dixon as Tom Collins, Jordan Fisher as Mark Cohen, Brennan Hunt as Roger Davis, Mario the singer, the R&B singer, as Benjamin Coffin III, Tinashe, and I'm sure if you don't know how I feel about Tinashe based off of the previous episodes, you know that I'm a diehard Tinashe fan. So she's playing Mimi Marquez. And interesting enough, Valentina is playing Angel Dumont. And for those who don't know Valentina, she was one of the contestants from RuPaul's Drag Race. I can't remember which season, but she won Miss Congeniality. Hated for some reasons, like for some reasons, I don't know, but I can't put it past. Like, the girl's gorgeous. So very interesting cast. I love Rent. I've seen the movie. I haven't had a chance to see it on Broadway, unfortunately, and honestly, I don't even know if they're still doing it. I know they were doing it for a while, but yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting cast. I think Vanessa Hudgens also has a role in this. if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be exciting to see what it can bring out of these known people as actors. I know Tinashe, she has acting background, but like Mario, I've never seen him act. I mean, he could have acted before, but I've definitely never seen it. So yeah, very interesting. Fox is going to air the 3-hour musical event on Sunday, January 27th, live at 7 p.m. and tape delayed Pacific time. So we have some time before it does air, but it's great to kind of get a insight on who's going to be playing what, especially if you're well known from watching the show, the live show and the Broadway show. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I'm rooting for everybody, so I hope they come through and definitely show up and show out. I guess on the side note, as we go in today in white America, yeah, white woman calls the cops on, obviously, black couple in Portland, Oregon for parking too close to a crosswalk. Oh man, I feel like it's always something. I mean, you really can't live while being black. It's just so crazy. Like, it's beyond words at this point on how much crazier this can get and how ridiculous the reasons can be of why a person of non-color feels that they need to call the cops on someone of color. So in an interview, the couple stated that they were actually, whether they parked too close to a crosswalk or not, they were actually there temporarily just to pick up food that they ordered. But I guess them parking too close irritated crosswalk Kathy, and she felt the need to reach out to the authorities to get them involved because they parked too close to the crosswalk. In the interview, the gentleman who was involved, who was one of the victims, said it's part of a bigger problem that we as a community need to address. New people come in and change a neighborhood, and it causes these kind of stressful situations. We don't interact with each other the way we used to. And I mean, he definitely has a point on a couple occasions. I was just having this conversation with a close friend of mine the other day of how gentrification, you really got to know how it's affecting you as a black person. And her being a woman of color, she was young, I love the fact that she carried a go-getter positive attitude, but I kind of had to bring some information to the table to kind of keep her woke on certain things, because she, in her head, she saw it as, well, we should, if the white people are getting that pay raise that they asked for, or they're living in these neighborhoods that are deemed clean and changing and like a nice environment, then we should live that way as well. And I told her, I was like, that's definitely, no doubt we should. I said, however, we have to come to the realization that because the color of your skin, you always have to fight 3 times harder than a person of non-color. You want to go after and you want to get that pay raise, or you want to get that job, or you want to live in that neighborhood. It's like we have to prove ourselves as people of color so hard versus a person with a lighter complexion that can get it just that easy. So I kind of just had to bring that to her, that these people do move in, and she loved the fact that areas get cleaned up, and she expressed how it's good that they come in and clean it up, but the reality is it's not for us. It's not for you. It's not for me. It's not for people of color. It's to get in, clean these places up, push the people of color out mainly, raise the rent, take control of things, put these new trees and these new restaurants and the new pavement and everything, so the white people can come and visit and realize, oh, I want to live here. And they come in and they take ownership and they take away the culture and the history behind it. I mean, it's happened in Harlem. When I moved here about 9 years ago, Harlem did not look the way it looks now. And yeah, there can be a sort of tranquil to it because it possibly has a higher level of safety involved, but the safety has increased, whether it's the NYPD being more involved in the community, more so because of the white people moving in. So when this gentleman says it's part of a bigger problem that we as a community need to address, new people come in and change a neighborhood, it causes these kind of situations. They don't even try to take the next step to even approach you about it. Whatever happened to talking like neighbors, whatever happened to like kind of approaching each other on some calm shit and just addressing each other. But you got the white people coming into these new neighborhoods and getting a little big-headed and then feeling like that, you know, they own everything and this is their area now. They have control over this, so they feel entitled to now call the authorities on people over situations like just so minor, so minuscule as this one. Instead of just, I think honestly, she should mind her fucking business. But if she felt that she needed to say something, she could have approached them and addressed them like that. So it's crazy how ridiculous it is, and it's getting so out of hand that you have to watch every step. It might be for someone jaywalking next. Like, you never even know at this point, because there have been so many stories on a weekly basis of people constantly calling the cops, whether you live in an apartment or you shopping or parking spot. It could be anything at this point. I don't even know anymore what's going to happen next. It's like playing bingo, like what's going to be the next number. So like I said, I definitely see where he's coming from in his comment, and it's just, when things get gentrified, it's like the communication goes out with it, as if people of color aren't owed that respect to be approached and be spoken to in a civil manner when it comes to situations like this. We have now lowered ourselves as a nation to calling the cops on people for every little thing, and it's got to stop. So yeah, we'll see what happens, how this story unfolds, but it's definitely nothing that surprises me. While going through my feed, I'm like, well, here's this shit today. So yeah, she's canceled. And speaking of canceled and it being Halloween, like I spoke on last week's episode, the use of blackface, a nurse at St. Luke's Health System Hospital in Kansas City, identified as Shelby Heenan, shared photos of herself on social media in blackface alongside another man who was also in blackface. And apparently the costume was intended to be Jay-Z and Beyonce. Yeah, shaking my head. So the good news out of this is that it does show little tolerance that people have for this, and someone on her social media saw it and he notified the hospital where she was working, and Shelby, little Miss Shelby herself, has been fired because of this act. You just gotta learn, like, you can dress up as Beyonce and Jay-Z. As many outfits as she's worn and iconic looks, you can pull off a Beyonce outfit. You don't have to take it to extreme measures to feel that you got to paint your face black to try to identify yourself as an individual of color and a black person. It's just, like I said, there's a meaning behind all that, and it's better you educate yourself on why you shouldn't do it, and just don't do it at all. But yeah, Shelby, I was gonna give her my L today. She can still get my L for the week of doing some fucked up shit. But to brighter news, speaking of Beyonce shut shit down this Halloween with her costume. She dressed up as Phoni Braxton, paying homage. 1993 Phoni Braxton at that. She posted to her Instagram saying, "Sending love and adoration to one of our talented legends. Thank you for the countless bops. Your tone, your beauty, your range, and your God-given talent is treasured. Loving you always. Have a happy Halloween, my king and queens." And she, the cute thing is that she put Phoni Braxton on the front. Adorable, but she got her little pixie wig on. I'm sure everybody has seen it. Everybody who's anybody that follows Beyonce, she looks gorgeous doing it, and she did a exact perfect replica side by side if you look at it. Phoni also took to social media and responded to Beyonce's flattering post Phoni Braxton, never. How do you look better than me on my album cover? I love it. Such a superstar. Thanks for the love, sis. Happy Halloween. Who run the world? Girls, girls. So I thought that was very cute. And yeah, very classy of her. Dressing up for Halloween, most likely we try to invoke our sluttiness, but it's okay to dress it up and keep it low-key cute and classy and covered up. So kudos to her and good job. Other cute costumes I saw, if you guys haven't seen it, I saw Danity Kane posted up, all three dressed up in skeletons. It was cute to look at. We had Joe Budden and Sin and their little child dressed up as the Incredibles. I thought that was very adorable because that baby is absolutely gorgeous. We had Sarunas Jackson and his cute little daughter dressed up as the Sunflower from the Fresh Prince episode, which was absolutely hilarious. Who else did we have? Who else did I see? We had the Kardashians. I think I saw them dressing up as Victoria's Secret models. Anything to wear what they wear on a normal daily basis. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. What else we got going on with What's the Whiskey Friend? Cardi and Nicki at it again. I don't even want to go into depth about this whole topic because I know a lot of people are going to talk about it and it's been blasted all over the media, but the whole situation is just crazy at this point. Like I said, I couldn't even read into it. It was just now, if people don't know what's going on, I guess now Nicki is voicing herself on Queen Radio and she's saying that it was actually Ra that beat Cardi's ass and gave her that knot. And there could be maybe about 5% truth in that because we all saw the video of what kind of went down, and Cardi replied saying that it was security. I didn't see Ra in the video and I saw it from many different angles when that whole Fashion Week brawl or whatever happened, but Nicki is kind of she's dramatic and she's animated in her ways, we all know that, but how she's kind of describing it like, wow, Ra really beat your ass. To the point where I was mad at her, and it was like 9-10 hits, and I'm just like, come on, okay, even if Rod did that to Cardi, you overreaching, you overextending and talk about she really beat your ass. It's just so crazy how animated she is. And just with Cardi B in her videos, I didn't even watch it. Something about who got Fashion Nova first, not Steve Madden is getting in it, and this and that. And I'm just, it would have been a good world had we had two of the best female rappers in the game right now, best friends and collaborating. But instead, we got to deal with bashing and this extreme competition, especially amongst the fans themselves. Bashing each other and sending death threats and this and that. It's just so crazy right now that we just can't enjoy both of them, to where we could have possibly gotten a collab album or more collaborations of songs by them in the future. So that's what's been going on. If y'all know more than me, then please fill me in, but I don't have the energy to entertain it anymore. So on that note, we can wrap up What's the Whiskey Friend. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll jump into Keeping It Real. All right, welcome back to the episode. We're about to jump into our Keeping It Real segment, where I keep it absolutely real, relatable, raw, and unedited for you guys. So one thing I wanted to kind of walk around is how, speaking with someone this week, just getting to know a lot of people and how they think and where their mindset is. I notice that we can sometimes get lost in the mental state of the past and the future. When I was speaking to this individual, she mentioned how when she's not at work, she's at home and she's constantly projecting the future, visualizing on where she wants to be, thinking about her outcome and possibly molding her path ahead. And I'm all for it. Like, I definitely support having an idea and having a visual image in your mind of where you see yourself going and where you see, where you're going to be in the future, 10 years from now. But what I like to remind people is that we got to remember to try and stay as present as possible in this current day and age, in this current day and time frame. We can very much get lost in what's going on inside our heads on a daily basis. It's I believe I read not too long ago that the human mind can think up to 10,000 thoughts a day. And we're always kind of circulating things on either what we got to do, what we haven't done, guilt, excitement, any kind of thoughts, regrets, highs and lows. And we just got to make sure that we stay present and we stay in the essence of now and what's happening right in front of us. Because even though you're thinking about the future and it could be something positive, you're missing the live action that's heading right in front of you. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard, but if you haven't, there's the quote that says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's really something that you would want to live your life by, realizing and understanding that whatever happened yesterday, good or bad, you make mistakes or whatever, it's done. It's done for. It's already happened. There's nothing else you can do. So why cry over spilled milk? Why beat yourself up? Why sit in sorrow and regret over something? When it's done, it's done. The only thing you can do at that point is just move forward. But you don't want to move so far ahead where you find yourself daydreaming and you're in this realm of what if, because at this point, all this stuff is imaginary. All this stuff is not factual. It's a good way to attract the things you want and visualize it, but you're stuck in the realm of all these what ifs that may or may not even cross your path. And this is why we need to kind of adhere to what's happening right now. The fact that I'm alive, the fact that I am breathing, that is a gift in its own, because as I've mentioned before, a lot of people are unfortunate to not wake up the next day and take that breath. So we want to stay conscious, we want to stay awake, and we want to stay current as much as possible. We have to learn how to train our minds not to drift too far, because the mind can be a little bit of a trickery. The mind can affect our emotions if we start to think of things like mistakes that we've made or people that we feel have wronged us. It can just send our energy and our mindset down the wrong path. And you just want to make sure that you kind of stay aware of that and don't let life kind of pass you by in the moment. When you're with your friends, be present with your friends. When you're with your loved one or your family, make sure you're giving them your undivided attention. Don't be lost in thought. Allow your time to meditate, I would recommend, because that's what I do on the side when you are able to spend time by yourself. But when you're out and about living life, you want to really observe and live life to the fullest. And you won't be able to do that if you're constantly in your head worrying about the next thing or worrying about things that probably won't even happen in your lifetime. So it's all about definitely being conscious, definitely being aware, and not dwelling too much on memories of the past and what ifs of the future. So that was something that I felt I wanted to discuss, because it's something that I want to say that I would deal with, not as much so because I've learned to fine tune the way I think, but after hearing it from other individuals, I think it's a great topic to talk about, because we're always in our head no matter what. We're always running through our mind a list of things, and that's just kind of the lifestyle and society that we live in, especially if you live in a high volume metropolitan area. It's just so much going on. Sometimes you don't get to pay attention to what's happening right in front of you. So yeah, definitely be mindful of that. But speaking of breathing, I wanted to read a quick book page that was sent to me this morning by one of my close friends. And this book is titled, oh man, I gotta find the actual title of the book. Iyanla Vanzant, Acts of Faith, Daily Meditations for People of Color. One of my friends sent me a passage this morning, and it just, like a lot of things, I felt like that was a message of the day for me. It was so relatable, and it was definitely something I could not go on without passing on to other listeners and other people. So it reads as follow: inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. What a wonderful gift of life. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The beginning and the end. Inhale peace, exhale confusion. It is just that simple. Inhale faith, exhale worry. That is all you have to do. Inhale order, exhale confusion. Get into the flow of life. Inhale love, exhale anger. Feel the warmth flow through your being. Inhale strength, exhale fear. Now put your mind to rest. Inhale silence, exhale chatter. Feel your body settle. Inhale freedom, exhale restriction. Let your mind follow the dream. Inhale victory, exhale defeat. Prepare yourself for the best. Inhale acceptance, exhale judgment. Feel yourself opening. Inhale confidence, exhale doubt. Enjoy the rhythm of who you are. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Breath is the gift of grace. As long as we have it, we have the divine opportunity to go it again. I accept the gift of breath as a gift of life. So I definitely wanted to pass that message along on how we must inhale the gift of life, inhale the love, and exhale the bullshit, exhale the unnecessary stressors that we are constantly dealing with on a daily basis. And also try not to be too hard on ourselves. Like, we're more than capable of making mistakes. We're meant to make mistakes because in hindsight, that's how we learn and that's how we grow. You're going to grow from your mistakes because you're going to know what to do next, or how to work your way around it, or try another advantage point to getting to where you need to be. But you want to be your number one fan. You don't want to always beat yourself up and feel like you are selfless when you come across an obstacle on the road, or you just can't get your mind wrapped around figuring out something. You want to be your best fan. You want to be your number one supporter, and you don't need to be too hard on yourself. I come across a lot of people, family included, where they just beat themselves up, and it's unnecessary for me. I don't want to see that, especially from someone that's in my inner circle, just anyone in general. I don't think it's necessary for you to be so hard and so tough and have your expectations on yourself so high that when you don't meet it, you judge yourself at a critical level, and just and you have such a negative impact on how you view yourself. So yeah, I mean, it's okay to love yourself, and it's okay to make mistakes and grow, and you want to make as many mistakes as you can, but learn from it and learn how to correct it. If you fail, try again. If you fail, keep trying. So that wraps up Keeping It Real for this episode. I hope I kept it real enough with you guys for the night, because I can get very passionate about these things. So if I come off a little aggressive, not my bad. I don't give a fuck, because y'all gonna keep hearing it. But what we got left is our losers and winners for the week before we close out the show. And I mean, my loser I already mentioned. I'm gonna give it to Shelby, because Shelby thought it was okay to do blackface and not understand the backing behind it. And so I'm just gonna leave it at that, because like Megyn Kelly, she should have known better. I don't got time to even explain it. Y'all just got to do better, and you got to educate yourselves before you start to make decisions like this that's going to impact the people around you and impact your life altogether. So yeah, she gets my L. My win for this week is going to go to Ellen for scaring the shit out of Kris Jenner. Oh man, it was so funny. It is posted to the Whiskey and Wheat Instagram. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I think I watched it like 15 times. It was hilarious. Like, she almost fell. I don't even think she ran. I don't know what was going on, but she almost fell on some kind of tractor or some kind of a dolly. And it was hilarious. I love it when Ellen scares these celebrities. I don't know. I saw the one with P. Diddy as well, where she was asking him, "Are you afraid of clowns?" And he was like, "Nope, I'm not afraid of clowns." And of course, one jumped out. hilarious. I get my life on every one of those episodes, and I think she's got quite a few people. I mean, if you're a celebrity going on that show and she has those red flag questions, you should know by now, like, oh shit, she's about to do something. Something's about to happen. But she gets my win, my W for the week, because that shit was fucking hilarious. But yeah, that wraps up another week's episode. Few closing credits. If you guys haven't already, as I mentioned every episode, definitely go check us out on iTunes. We're now on Spotify. Like, subscribe, comment, rate. Feedback is always welcomed. I love to hear from you guys. But overall, I definitely appreciate all the support that I've been getting, even with this change happening. Shout out to one of my good podcast friends, Chase, from the Cookout Podcast. He's definitely had the utmost respect for what I'm doing, and he's definitely shown so much support, and I definitely want to give him that shout out, and shout out to my family and also my friends, and I mean the fans and the listeners and whoever, everyone that just supports by listening and liking and commenting. None of that goes unnoticed. So yeah, all but love here, and I'll continue to keep this shit going, keep elevating this platform, and we will be on our way. So I hope you guys have a good week, a good weekend. November is here. Christmas is around the corner. My birthday is on Christmas, so I'll be sending out my registry for my birthday, my list and everything. So yeah, I'll see you all next week. Peace.